Hey, it's To The Point with Mike, Leo, and Vince.
Welcome back.
What's going on, guys?
Are you okay over there?
Right over there, Leo?
Yeah, Leo's been
Hey, I'm good.
not feeling very well. So what have you guys been up to? I mean, we were just here a couple days ago.
Were we?
Yeah, it seems like it. It's
been
Monday, so it's. I think we met on
Wednesday
last week. Yeah, and we were released by Friday.
Yeah.
Not we were
Well,
released,
welcome
but the
back.
episode dropped by Friday. It took a little bit because I don't know, man. The
Yeah, you were saying that it takes a little bit longer.
bandwidth. It's sometimes it's no telling which one is
What you
going
got
to
out
be
there, Mike?
easiest. So it's either I start with YouTube. I start to upload to YouTube.
What you have is
but I've also upload to Rumble and Spotify the video,
right.
and it's sometimes I don't know which one goes faster.
Yeah,
to
but
be
what do you
honest
have
with
It seems
like
YouTube gives you the least amount of trouble.
like
I don't
internet
know.
provider?
I've got Florida broadband.
You think that's the problem?
Yeah, definitely.
You think?
I
Florida
mean,
broadband is
definitely.
the
It's not
problem?
my computer. That's what it is.
No,
We
definitely.
need to get you on that Elon Musk.
Yeah, but the startup cost is ridiculous.
What is that, Vince? I've heard of it.
It's satellite, but
yeah,
it's
what's
it's
it called again?
Starlink, I
Starlink,
believe.
that's
Yeah,
Starlink.
Yeah.
but they're low orbit satellites, and there's like thousands of them. But they can literally, like, I mean, well, we saw it during the Ukraine war. Like
Right.
in the very beginning, he sent up a rocket, and out of the next day, Ukraine had Wi-Fi. You know,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
freaking
I saw that.
country had Wi-Fi.
I was like,
you know,
damn.
yeah.
Like, and then that's how
'Cause
they were
there's a
able
bunch
to
of like
communicate. I guess, and
satellites
stuff like
that
right?
they
Right.
make like a web network and then
Right.
just
I
bounce
wonder-
off each other.
I wonder how quick it is.
It's supposed to be
Yeah.
the best out there, but it's like a $500 startup cost because you got to buy the equipment, and then it's like $100. I heard it might have gone up, but it's like $100 a month. But I believe it's also unlimited. Oh, we're definitely looking into it. It could because out there we're so rural, we don't have no landline or nothing like that.
Yeah, once you get past the startup
We have
cost,
electricity, but no
Once you get
internet.
up past
Nobody will
this-
come down the road.
past the startup cost, it's really not a bad deal.
No,
I mean,
it's
a
not.
little bit more pricey than internet.
Yeah, it's just
through-
not on our priority list. You know,
Right.
with 3 kids running around, and
Yeah, but that startup cost is pretty pricey.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do
Well, I mean, you should.
Yeah.
I mean, look how easy those people were able to get internet right away.
Well, it's available to parts of us. I don't know if it's available all over Anywhere County, but I know it's available out there. But
Right.
I don't know. It's an option. There's people in the neighborhood who've switched over to it and they love it. So
Really, I wonder what they're paying. Or
this is
what'd you
not
say?
a
What they're paying?
sponsorship. It's like 100, maybe like 120 after
That's not bad.
taxes or something like that. I'm
Do-
not
do
sure.
you
Don't
get-
call me. I don't know.
No.
It's not, and then we ain't sponsored by them either. So it's just-
No. I'm just
you know.
asking questions.
I think
If
like
I had better
'cause I
internet,
think
dude,
my-
we could
I have
definitely
not heard
do
of
more.
it.
I think my portion of the internet through Comcast is somewhere around $100 too, like at least 90.
Yeah. Well, that's like
So-
my Florida broadband, and it's got antennas all across the area. And if something goes down, or if there's a power outage, some breaker trips, or some whatever, then wind blows. Sometimes it's just like we'll be down for a day or so.
Right.
But I mean, not for nothing, we're an internet household. We don't have cable, so everything the kids are watching is either DVD or streaming.
Right.
Which is to be honest, they're not watching DVDs, you know. And sometimes it'll be more than one device, you know. The kids got their little games, they got to be connected to the Wi-Fi too, you know, to be whatever, I don't know. And then you got my shit running in the background.
And then a tablet,
Yeah.
a computer.
Well, I try to make sure that some of the stuff is turned off, but anyways.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays you could be tracked by anything, though. You know, like they could see you.
Well, yeah, well now they got the Ring doorbell.
Yeah,
think
the Ring doorbell.
One of you guys or both of you guys got
I
something
haven't.
like that.
No, I don't.
I have it.
But you can have
I had
it hooked
Arlo
up.
cameras. I didn't
You
have
can
that.
have it hooked up to
Oh, yeah.
your refrigerator.
I've seen refrigerators that have like
Yes.
TVs. And
Well,
microwaves that
Ring,
have
there's a
TVs and
refrigerator
stuff
out
like that.
there that's like, I don't know. I
I've
don't know
seen-
what the hell it is, but
I've
they got
actually
the
seen
they got the
some-
Ring
No, I understand
camera
what you're
in
saying.
there to see, like, if you're
Right.
grocery shopping, you can.
Oh,
Yeah,
your
and
grocery
do I
list.
have
and not-
have sour cream?
Oh,
Not
yes,
just that,
yes,
Mike.
yes,
I
yes,
think
yes.
it's gone as far as where, like, it could be a refrigerator that maybe you restrict access to, and your kid has to, like, ask you for permission to open it.
Shit.
All right. But still, like
I've
how
seen like commercials
like-
where they do shit
like
like
how have we come to this world and be like, you know, like this is what we need to have in our life. Do we really need these things though?
that. No, but it's cool.
I mean, yeah, but like
I
it
always
was just-
find the newer technology shit cool. I mean, I like to see it. I don't necessarily need it. Definitely don't need it. But some of the stuff's pretty cool to see what they come out with.
What, as far as the new technology goes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like new technology. I hate to see.
I hate the fact that, like, when you drive, like on
Old stuff
spring
go-
break,
no, like-
Mike, I was on vacation, so I'm driving around, and almost every day I drove around while I was on vacation, and I'd be lucky if I see one kid out playing while driving through, you know, like the Highlands or something, where you would expect to see them all out during the spring break, like playing and shit. Like,
Really?
that's the downside of the technology. It's like they're all inside instead of playing outside.
yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised on my way here tonight. I had noticed two very far sections of the road, because it's a long road, kids out drawing on the concrete with chalk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there
That's
might
good.
be a little hope left. I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's a little
Probably
bit.
a little bit more hope out here where you're at too,
Probably.
compared to where I'm living at.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
because I see my neighbors, you know, the kids, they'll be, you know, playing out in the street, or they'll ride their
Right.
bikes up to here, and then they'll ride it back and stuff like that. So, I mean, right now during the summer, boy, it's hot. You know, I
It's
mean,
gonna
right
get
now,
hotter,
right,
too.
right now
It
it's
hasn't
nice
gotten
and
too
cool,
bad
you know,
yet,
but when it gets hot out here, you know, and
For sure.
and we all know it, you know. So
But did that stop you when you were that age?
no, but it wasn't as hot.
Didn't stop any of us.
No, but it wasn't as hot. And I was
I
outside.
don't remember it
I don't-
being this hot.
Yeah, man, I was
Well,
outside
I swear it gets
24/7,
hotter
man.
and hotter every year.
I used
Yeah.
to work outside,
But,
and I can't do what I used
Yeah,
to.
but we're
That's
also
for sure.
getting older, Mike.
Well, I'm a lot older, but it's
Well, yeah,
still,
but
man, it's
still,
hot.
it does get hot.
It's hot as fuck out there.
I guess working in the coolers and stuff like that, and like colder environments,
Yeah.
over the last 20 years.
I started working inside,
changed
working
me,
with
so-
air conditioning
Yeah,
inside.
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when I stopped doing my lawn service and
Right.
started
Yeah.
working inside, it was like there was no going back to that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
speaking of getting hot, things got hot in Tennessee after that Christian
The
school
Christian
shooting we
school
talked
for
about
the
last week.
from the kids.
Yeah, I guess
Yes.
there was some protests, and
What's
Their
the protest
capital.
about though?
they want gun control.
Okay, for what?
Well, they're
The criminals
that's
are
whatever. They
criminals
want
are
gun
always
control.
gonna
Yeah.
the criminals are always gonna find a way of how to
Yeah.
get their
Gun
hands on
control is not going to stop the people that break the
Yeah.
laws.
it. You
So,
know, I mean, it's just
yeah,
it's impossible.
well, we've talked about January 6th. Everyone that's probably going to listen to us knows all about the January 6th crap, where there's still people being held without even being charged, or if they've been charged, they're just being stalled. They're treated like traitors. And the one guy with the stupid hat on and the face paint, he was just released, who was like, they called him the QAnon shaman, which he wasn't, but he was just the guy that they toured around. So they stormed the Capitol, they said, and now they're getting released because there's video footage saying otherwise. So in Tennessee, after that school shooting, there was a similar riot or insurrection, if you would, on the Tennessee Capitol when they were holding legislation, and 3 lawmakers actually joined the protesters invading the state capitol, and there were votes to expel them from the legislative
From
body,
office.
I guess. But sadly enough, it's probably not going to happen. I don't think they can. But crazy enough is one of them, before they were a representative, I think he's just a representative, was already expelled from there as a citizen from protesting. I guess he threw a coffee at somebody or something, but yeah, 3 Democrat state lawmakers joined protesters invading Tennessee state capitol. The one guy, though, he's got a rap sheet, and now he's a representative. I think it's Justin Jones or something like that. Justin Jones, Justin Pearson, and Gloria Johnson. brought the Tennessee lower chamber to a halt when they joined in chanting with the protesters. And what they are saying is the person who did the shooting, you know how there was 6 victims?
Right.
They're holding up 7 fingers. That's their thing. You know how like the George Floyd thing was hands up, don't shoot, or something like that? Or who was that, Trayvon or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they're protesting, and they invaded the state capitol during legislative hours.
7? What's the 7 for?
Because the shooter was a victim also. Because the transphobia that's been created and the systematic racism and the low tolerance and the gay hate.
But why do we keep giving people, what's that saying? If you give somebody a certain amount of...
You give them an inch, you give them a mile.
Right. Like,
Take
why?
a mile, yeah.
Why? This is what happens. You gave somebody something, and now guess what? This is what's happening. You know, like it's...
So in that
like,
case...
why? Like, everything nowadays, people just want it to be given to them. Like, no, man, it's not... Like, you have to earn these things. Like, and life is not
Well, in that
just...
case, every shooting, every shooter should have been is the victim then.
Right? I mean, it just makes no sense. Why am I the victim? Like, why? Like, it just makes no sense. People want them to feel sorry for them now?
Well, yeah,
And
because
why?
In
it's
this
the
case, they-
she
No.
was the victim.
He. Or she. What was
It was a she.
It was a she.
Well,
Yeah, she
it was, a
was
she
the victim.
that wanted to
Yeah.
be called a he.
No, she was a she. Whatever
What?
she wants. I want to be rich too, but
Right, but it was a
You
she
can't
that
call me
wanted to
that.
be called a he.
Right.
yeah. But I guess this one group, the Trans Resistant Network, a far-left transgender collective, released an inflammatory statement on Monday in the wake of the Covenant School Nashville shooting by transgender woman Audrey Hale that killed 3 9-year-olds and 3 adults, calling the mass murder a dual tragedy. The group wrote, "The first was the deaths of the children and adults in the school, and extended their deepest sympathies and heartfelt prayers to those families dealing with the loss of their loved ones. All of these factors contribute to a population that is medically underserved and who often face anti-trans bias while accessing care, leading to significant physical and mental health disparities," they continued. Pretty much saying that they're the real victims here.
So I have we talked about this before.
Hey, Vince, my throat's a
There-
little dry, man.
There is no doubt that the person that did the shooting was sick. Anybody that shoots 3 9-year-olds is sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, come on.
that was article on Fox News, but
Especially, like, if you're an adult shooting
I mean,
the kids.
if
You know, like, come on, man.
I can't see that. Even if I lost my I lost my marbles and I went fucking ape shit, I'm not going to shoot fucking 9-year-olds.
no
Now,
way.
that's sickening.
That's a different level.
That's sickening. That is just...
Well,
I don't
there's
know, man. I
definitely
mean,
warning signs there.
I understand kids shooting kids because, all right, that's what they know is other kids. But an adult to go to the school and shoot kids, especially that young,
Like, I mean, that
not
just
even a
makes
high
you think...
school.
That just makes you think, like, what happened in their childhood growing up that made them change, or do you think something happened to them growing up that
Well, I
had
have
something to do in their brain or something,
I
or while they were in while they were in their mother's still, like,
I believe they probably went through some sort of trauma in their life that led to that. Maybe it was, maybe they were, I understand what they're saying. Maybe they were a victim. They were traumatized because they were trying to be transsexual and people picked on them, made fun of them or
maybe
something.
their family didn't accept them
But
or something. like that.
I'm sorry. I'm still not going. I'm not
No,
going to be
no.
an adult with that kind of trauma and go shoot 9
No, I
I'm
agree.
sorry. I don't feel sorry.
No,
for
I
somebody that did
agree with that. No, I agree with that. I was just asking, like, what do you, like how is that, like, I don't know where I was going.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, I understand. Yeah, they may have been a victim.
Oh,
at
just
some point
like what
in
I
their
was saying.
life,
Yes, like you're saying.
but it's
you know,
not. It's still not okay.
It's no excuse.
Right. No, I agree.
None.
It's no excuse.
You're not
The
going
gun
to make
didn't
me
do it
feel
either.
sorry for somebody.
No. I
like
was just
that.
asking, like, maybe it was something them growing up
Right.
that triggered them to do something like that, and then
And when I
even
Right.
even more sickening for them to be able to like
Right. And I'm not
pursue
saying
with their plan, because it's a plan. They have it planned.
Right.
It's just I'm not gonna wake
Well,
up
they
today.
did. There was another one that was stopped by the mother. Actually, turned her own kid in that had a manifesto that was about to do the same thing. She was actually a Democrat, and she tried blaming DeSantis for it. And another one in I think the Carolinas or something like that. That almost happened. Family relative.
Yeah. And I
turned
think we
them
talked
in.
about. Did we talk about this the last episode?
We talked about the school
the-
shoot, the school shooting.
No,
that
but
happened,
no, about like females or males wanted to be females and stuff like that. Did we talk about that, Vince?
Yeah, but I don't really
something
want
along
to.
those lines.
It keeps coming up in our conversation, and I know it's a big deal in the news today. I hate to keep talking about it.
I know, but I mean,
I feel so
they're
bad
putting it
because
out there.
I've got friends
they
in
keep
that
putting it out
predicament
there.
too. In my opinion, I mean, I'm not going to tell them that. Like, I mean,
Well, here
if it's not solicited, so it's like, I don't know. It's
so
just,
I think you
I
probably
wish it wasn't news.
You believe the same thing probably that I'm about to say. I've got friends too that are in kind of,
their
I know
movement's
people.
been hijacked.
So I don't have a problem with people that want to be transsexual.
No, I don't
What
have
I have a problem with is the media shoving it down my throat and making
Yes.
me, hey,
And I
this,
think it's
But
more the
is
media
normal.
for
than
some
anything.
reason, the movement.
do what you want,
But
but I
listen,
don't want it forced down my throat.
The movement was hijacked by the frickin' drag queens.
Right.
If it weren't for the drag queens fucking around with kids, there wouldn't be a frickin' conversation to have here.
But see, that's where
sorry.
I know, but see, that's where this.
we-
That's where I think the sickening came from, because the drag queens, to me back then, was just a show.
Well, we talked about that last week.
We talked about
a
it,
little bit.
For
we
adults.
touched on it.
For
For
adult-
adults.
for
So
adults,
yeah, a
right?
drag queen is not a
entertainment.
Okay.
transsexual. A drag queen still is a man when they go to work, and then they
It's
want to wear a dress
whatever.
at
Nobody
night.
cared what they
put on
were.
a
We already
show.
knew they weren't what they were. But it was just, it had nothing. It was adult entertainment. It was whatever. I've been to places that held drag nights, and it was funny. It's like
Right.
comedy. It was adult entertainment. It wasn't a place
But you
where
didn't have
kids,
kids
were allowed in the
sitting there.
building.
That's when it becomes
Right.
sickening. Is when you see videos where the
Yeah,
kids
and then they're
are right
teaching them
there.
how to.
And
I don't know
I
what's wrong
saw.
with us.
I mean, there was a
Where'd we go
video a
wrong?
while ago that we all watched where a kid was fucking like putting $1 in a freaking in the like a G-string. I'm sorry.
Yeah, something's
When
not
did
right.
that become okay?
I don't
Used
know.
to be
but-
you take your kid there as a parent, you're supposed to get arrested for that.
Yeah, it's to me. You belong on a list. I got strong convictions about what you expose your kids to, and I think it's not just. I don't care what your beliefs are. What's decent for a kid to grow up with the values.
Right. So
What are you raising?
right. So
monsters?
so this weekend, right?
This thing moving slowly. I think it's moving
It's
super
not.
slow.
So this weekend,
Let's
right?
get
So this
closer.
weekend, Elena
Makes
got.
you feel better. Yeah.
So this
Yeah, it's
weekend,
moving.
my daughter got her nails painted, right?
Yeah.
So my wife's painting my daughter's nails. They're on the table. They're painting their nails, right? She gets them all done. Nathaniel's watching the whole time. He's like watching them. He's still doing his thing, but he's watching them of what they're doing.
So he shows a little interest in it, probably.
So then my wife does her, but she does her toenails, right? She paints her toenails, comes out. She's got like fucking tissue paper all wrapped around her fucking nails or whatever. So I guess the fucking nails don't touch. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Like the cotton between the.
Right.
I got
So all that bullshit. And then Nathaniel says, "Mommy, my turn." Right. So then she turns around and looks at me and says, like,
Is it okay?
no, like talks to me, but just like in silent, like she moves her lips so that I could read her lips, right? And she tells me, "What do I tell him?" And I raised my hand and said, "That's up to you." I'm like, "Hey, that's up to you." And then she was just like, we were just like, "Well, that's just for girls, da 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 da." But he was insistent of getting his nails painted, right?
Right.
So then I told my wife, I said, "Well, let's go see if we find a blue color and paint his pinky nails." And
Yeah,
that's it.
black or
Mhm.
something.
So she found blue. So she painted his pinky nail blue. And then I was like, okay, we'll paint mine too, so he doesn't feel like, okay. And then so I just got my pinky nail. Just like a paint. It wasn't like properly done. It was just like a splash
Right.
on there, And he was like, all right, cool. I'm cool with just one and it's blue, So, I mean, it's not that he's being, wants to be a female or anything, but I mean, he saw what
He's
was
seeing
going.
his older sister do
Right,
something, and
I mean, they're
Yeah,
going to be
I mean,
interested
that's-
in whatever
whatever.
it is, you know. I guess I don't know.
Well, younger kids
What
always
happened now,
always
right?
going to look up to the older kids.
Yeah.
A lot of, whether the older kid's a female or male, I mean, they're always going to look up to their older sibling.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. So I had a blue pinky nail this weekend. I mean, it went away because I guess it was just cheap shit or old or whatever. But still, I mean, it doesn't, that doesn't mean that my kids are watching drag queen shows on the TV. You know?
Right.
I think to me,
well, kids will be kids though.
yeah,
You don't want it. You're not okay with somebody
Right,
else
no,
exposing them
right.
to something like that before you feel they're due for exposure. Like, even as kids get older, it's still up to you what they should be exposed to, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely.
So
I mean,
you don't want the school doing something
Right.
or
No,
introducing
no.
something,
I was just-
forcing you
I-
into a
I
predicament
was
to
just
rely
gonna
on the
say,
school to educate the kids.
That was just something that happened in your house.
My house?
What if,
Whose house?
Leo's, but what if your kid came home from school and his fingernails were all painted pink
Oh.
and it was something they did at school, and next week they're going to
Well, what if they sent a...
do something
What
else?
if there was something, schoolwork? You know how they send schoolwork home and they put your name and then pronouns. And then it would say he, him, or she, her. Like,
Got
what
me
if they
fucked
gave...
up. You
What
got
if
me
they
fucked up.
gave...
You're going to a different school.
Like, what if they put... Right?
son,
like, no,
son,
that's
you don't go to that
That's it.
school anymore.
Like, what do you mean? You need to ask him or what? Is this like, or are you going to correct him if he's wrong? Please tell me what it is.
Don't worry, son. You
Right
don't have
now.
to do that homework.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... I mean, a kid...
Draw a middle
this
finger
is-
for that pronoun.
Right, so this is my thing. Kids don't know anything, man. Like, they're growing, so they're learning as they grow. So whatever you teach that kid, that's all they're going to know.
That's why
You
they're
know?
attacking them when they're young.
Okay, but then that falls on
pushing this
okay,
agenda
but that
on.
falls on the parent too. Like, if the parent sees it on TV, okay, well, you know what? I'm canceling this channel. I'm not gonna watch this shit on this channel anymore. I'm gonna stick with shit that I know they're not gonna show my kids.
Yeah.
Or if I'm watching it, and my kids are around, I'm gonna make sure I'm not watching.
Right.
Because there you go again. The kids soak up everything they hear and everything they see. Like, they're gonna ask, okay, well, why is that guy got fucking fancy hair, fucking blue eyes, or whatever the fuck it is,
Sometimes I feel bad for saying stuff like this because I don't have any kids, but I feel like too many people today, and you two are not like that, which, thank God. Too many people rely on their kids to just be raised by the schools. And
Oh,
then,
yeah, for sure.
So it's just kind of sad.
I think we're pretty fortunate.
That's
The
how
school-
agenda gets pushed on them.
The school my kids are in, the principal encourages, like, the father to be involved in any of the functions where a parent is supposed to come to the school or something like that, and he praises that, and they're pretty good out there. But I still do teach my kids that they don't, if anybody asks you to keep a secret, or if they tell you a funny story, you definitely let mommy or daddy know right away. We don't do secrets, not when strangers tell us to keep secrets. So,
Yeah.
and that's what's going on in a lot of these circumstances where fucking mom finds out the counselor's been providing binders and
Right.
stuff like that.
But
and
see, that's
stuff.
what
I don't know anything about it, but it's just
but
like
see,
you
that's
find
what-
out.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Like your
this
kids.
shit, this shit happens to.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it can't happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody or
Yeah.
any kid or anything. I'm just saying, like, sometimes if you think about it, like, you read more about the story or whatever, and you'll find out that maybe the parent just dropped the kid off and let the school take care of the kid. Let the school take care of everything. The schools there again are not there to do that, And I feel like the students, they feel like they can't get that love or whatever that they need in their home because they're just dropped off there. So then these sick people take advantage of that shit.
I think so, right?
Take advantage of the shit. Take advantage, and they seek out their predators or whatever they're called, and they go for it, and they give them that love, and they give them that stuff that they're not giving
The
at
attention.
home. Right. They're not giving at home. And then when shit happens, then they're making fault because, oh, well, this happened to this person. Well, I mean, maybe if the parent was more involved in the child's life, you know, like you could, like Mike said, you know, he tells his kids, hey, there is no secrets.
Well, and I think
there is no such thing as a secret.
But part of the problem
you know?
is
you come tell me there is no fucking.
They need to
such
have
thing
that
as
kind of
secret.
conversation with their kid because I think
And they don't. That's
the problem
problem.
is too many
They
of
just
them.
drop
They
the
just
kids off.
They figure, well,
Fuck
it's
that.
Vero Beach or it's Fellsmere.
It don't matter.
That
shit
kind
can
of
happen
stuff.
anywhere,
It's
man.
not going to happen
Yeah.
here. It's not going to happen to my
Shit
kid.
could happen anywhere. This shit could be happening right now.
But
We don't fucking know.
But that's why it's important
Why?
to have
Because
that conversation with
shit for
with the
fucking
kids
secret
because
bullshit.
if you don't have that conversation with them when
Got
it
me
does
fucking
happen, they're
fired
not
the fuck
prepared.
up.
They're not prepared for it.
Well, yeah, I don't think as a parent, I mean, well, when you look at the two different societies people push for, we're more freedom loving, liberty, prosperity seeking people. And then there's the other group that's more like, they don't know what they want. They think they want socialism or communism,
What
but
they
they're
call
wrong.
them, the lefts and the rights and the.
Yeah, there's not. It's more complicated than just left and right, but that's pretty much.
You got your people that don't
You know-
even know which one they are.
Yeah, but these people who
there's
think they
just
want
people that
like
float.
socialism and capitalism, and they just think it's a better life, and it's not. They lose opportunity for prosperity. I don't even know what got me going on that, but
Yeah, I don't know.
it's
Fuck
get
socialism.
the culture, the polar, like the left and the right is so opposite now. It's
Oh,
almost
yeah,
like they have to
absolutely.
outdo each other.
They have to outdo
But the
each other.
right, we've talked about this. The right really doesn't have their shit together. They never
the left,
do.
The
Yeah.
left right now is outperforming the right.
Well, every time
But then if
They're
but then
more
if it's
prepared.
flipped, then if
Power.
it's flipped, then it's
It's-
then the
and it's all
also
about-
is also flipped as
And
well.
let's be honest, it's all about
Yeah.
who's
No.
the better cheater. And right now they're the better cheater.
no, it's when the right gets in power, they want to play softball because they think, well, let's play by the rules, and they're thinking, oh, they won't cheat us when they're in power.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
look
the
what
fuck
the
they
hell
will.
happened.
I know, but that's what I'm
What
saying.
happened?
That's what I'm saying. Like when the right is in power,
Yeah.
the left's always got something to say, and when the left is in power,
It's
the right-
racist or sexist
so-
or
and it's like
transphobic.
Why? You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's like okay, you want it to stop, I want it to stop. Okay, so now it's going to be your turn,
The problem is
and I'm going to tell my people, you know what?
the problem
Hey,
is the left doesn't want
that's
it
what
to
I'm
stop.
saying. That's what I'm saying,
So
though.
that's-
Somebody's got to grow up, and somebody's got to say, "This is where I think Trump's got to come in and be like, hey, listen,
Problem is
my last year, I'm gonna fucking
I-
run with
Last
this
time.
shit
I believe that Trump
and
has-
get and
Trump
get
can
people
make
and
the
get,
biggest
and get people
change.
right.
He can make the biggest change, but the problem is he's only got another 4 years that it's going to go.
He's old.
Unfortunately,
Google, see how old the man is. Mike?
the change isn't going to be permanent.
Trump is 76.
76.
Yeah, so he would be around. If he got elected our next president, he'd be pushing 80. He'd be like 78. But he's not a Joe Biden 78.
Yeah.
Well, that's for sure. I think he can probably still do it.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know if he wants to, though, man. His speech was kind of like I saw somebody that's exhausted
I seen it
and
too.
almost sorrowful to his family that they've had to endure it, but proud that they've stuck by him for it. So, I mean, they've gone through some hell. I mean, I
Oh,
think
yeah,
that Ivanka's
absolutely.
kind of like distanced herself a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, personally, if I was in his shoes, I don't understand. I mean, the only thing I can say is he's got to really want to do the change that he's talking about because he's already a billionaire. His family is suffering from it. He's suffering. He's probably aging much quicker than he should from all the stress from it. I just don't see. He doesn't have enough to gain. I really feel like. I mean, if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't want to run again. I wouldn't want to go through all that, put my family through all that. And they may not even seen the worst of it yet.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of scary out there. I think we should take a break. I think there's another big story we should talk about when we come back, especially pertaining to the Second Amendment in a case in the news. Today, we really haven't heard much from. It was the story about Daniel Perry. We'll talk about that when we come back.
And we'll be right back.
All right, we're back. So yeah, we were just having a little laugh about the kids. So I sometimes it was about the quiet. Sometimes I like them to listen through and like soak in the quiet.
Right.
Just listen for distant noises and tell me what you hear.
Maybe if they find that cool, they'll let you get a little peace and quiet.
I think for kids, we're back.
Let you get a little peace and quiet
We're
too,
back.
right?
Shit.
Yeah. Well, I think it slows them down a little bit.
Yeah.
When they're getting a little crazy and they need to enjoy where they're at. So, yeah, we're back. So we teased on it a little bit, not like that it's a good thing, but the story about Daniel Perry. We talk about the Second Amendment quite a bit, and this guy. During I think it was 2020, the George Floyd riots. That was like a movement. Bless you, Leo.
Bless you, Leo.
Bless you, Leo. The George Floyd riots were going on in all the major cities and stuff like that, and I guess it was in Austin. This guy, I don't really get much into the story. I think Leo was reading into it, but he was an Uber driver.
Yeah,
I guess he was an Uber driver, right?
And he
An Uber
might have
driver.
been on job, like he was driving, right?
right, and he was a former U.S. Army sergeant, the Uber driver, the guy that ended up.
And he took a wrong turn or something and found himself surrounded by a bunch of BLM protesters that were armed, right? And I think there was video
the guy that
of somebody pointing a rifle at him in the high and ready.
It was an AK-47.
Yes. Was it?
Yeah, I guess, right? I didn't read the story.
It was an AK-47 and perfectly legal in
Yeah.
that area to walk around
Well, I
the
mean,
streets
yeah, they
with an AK-47.
surrounded your vehicle. If somebody shows.
So perfectly legal to do that, which also perfectly.
But they surround
legal
this
to carry
guy's
in a car.
vehicle. Now, mind you, there was a couple cases going on at the time where other people have found themselves in that same predicament, and they hit the gas and have hurt people,
ran over
and they got in trouble for like manslaughter.
Right.
So, in Texas, of all places, with a strong stand your ground law, this guy felt threatened. He's surrounded. This guy's pointing a rifle at me. He shoots him 3 times. Well, they just convicted him of murder today, and there's a big movement for the governor
So if I'm
to
sitting
get him a pardon. But it's not easy like.
if I'm sitting in
signing
my
off
vehicle
on
and somebody's approaching me with an AK-47,
Yeah.
I'd do the same thing. I'm gonna.
You coming
I'm
at
gonna
me
fear, I'm
in
gonna
the
fear for my
SOCOM
life.
stance, like you're coming to kill me.
I'm
I'm
gonna-
shooting you.
I'm gonna fear
You
for
don't-
my life. I'm gonna defend myself.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
gonna shoot to kill you. Or I'm gonna run you over, whichever one I think is more effective for me at the time to survive. That's what they teach you anyways.
So the reason they say they convicted him was the Uber driver that was convicted provoked the person that was walking up to his vehicle with the AK-47, and the stand your ground law does not apply if you provoked it. So I don't see anything where they talk about what he did to provoke it. I remember you said something like he had just posted something on social media that they could have said what might have provoked it, but I'm sure that these guys walking around with rifles in front of his car weren't looking at his social media feed. And
Yeah.
so, and just to point out too, the other strange thing was, so the guy that
They're
got
both
convicted
vets.
was a U.S. Army sergeant, and the guy that he ended up shooting and killing, his name was Perry. He was also
Daniel Perry was the one convicted of murder.
Daniel Perry was the
Army?
Army sergeant,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to see what the other one was. Air Force veteran. So the guy
The
that got shot,
BLM protester.
the guy that got shot and killed was a white male, and he was a
Protesting for the BLM.
right,
He was Antifa.
right.
That's what he was, or a paid protester. Which there was documentation of much of that going on.
Bottom
Soros
line-
backed paid protesters. I mean,
Right. Bottom line, at the end of the day, if I'm the person sitting in the vehicle and somebody's approaching me with a rifle, you better believe I'm going to be ready if I feel threatened.
yeah. Well, that's what we're taught, right?
Yeah. That's what the stand your ground law is all about.
Yeah, so here's the story. Daniel, U.S. Army Sergeant found guilty of murdering BLM protester in Austin. Texas governor moves to pardon Daniel Perry, who was convicted of shooting Jarrett Foster during rally in 2020. This is, I think on, what is this? The Guardian. Found him not guilty of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The murder conviction left him facing a maximum of life in prison. He could be sentenced as soon as next week, according to the local television news outlet. However, Texas Republican extremist governor, listen how they word this. Texas Republican extremist governor Greg Abbott said on Saturday on Twitter that he was already working on pardoning Perry from his conviction, which he called an attempt to jury nullification of Texas self-defense law. So, I mean, that's crazy because I don't see Abbott as an extremist. I see him as chasing DeSantis' coattails all the time.
Yeah.
I mean...
Oh, definitely.
But that's funny. This is the Guardian. So, I mean, take it for what it is. It's half the stuff they put out there. It's not very credible anyways. I should probably wipe my browser history. Let's just get rid of that. But,
yeah, delete.
Yeah, but so how do you feel about that? What do you do? You turn down the road.
I mean,
you turn down the road and you got your family with you. Let's say you're going from here to northern Georgia and you got to get off the highway and you're in Atlanta or outside Atlanta, and you just happen to take the wrong turn and you find your car surrounded.
Yeah.
And you got 2 kids and a wife in the car.
And then all of a sudden I see from the corner of my eye a guy,
Well, as soon as they touch a car, I'm hitting the gas.
What?
Hopefully there's not a car in front of me.
First thing I'm going to say is put your head down.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody get down.
Everybody get down.
Everybody get down.
I'm going to have mine ready.
Get down.
But yeah, surrounded. Yeah, I'm going to end up hitting the gas,
Vince,
though. You're surrounded.
Kids most of the time kids are in high seat. High chairs. But
you're right in the booster seats or high chair, whatever. So what I'm just going to say is, hey, listen. Get ready, Get my firearm ready, If I have one or two, I might tell my significant other, hey, you go ahead and grab yours. I'm fixing to hit this gas. All right? So whatever goes, we're going.
Yeah,
if
we're
we
going.
can't make it.
Yeah, we're going.
And if they start shooting, you start shooting.
Yeah.
Okay?
Especially, it depends on what you're driving, too.
Yeah.
Because if you're driving a little car, I mean, you run over bodies, you might get stuck.
That's what I'm saying. You're just going to start shooting.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm going for both.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Taking out as many as I can with the big weapon. And then I'm coming out shooting.
Shit, man.
Yeah.
That'd be some scary shit, man.
It is, but you got your survival, and I don't know what this guy was thinking, but there's reasonable doubt. For me, it wasn't murder. Yeah. And that's how you judge.
No, it's not murder.
That's how you judge
how is that murder, Mike?
These cases.
How is that
is there
murder?
any reasonable doubt?
That cannot be murder because the guy was what.
There's a social media
he
post.
Was feared for his life. If you feel
reasonable doubt.
If you feel fear for your life, you're not. Why should you be charged for murder, man? You're fearing for your life. You're defending yourself.
Well, they're blaming. They're saying it was provoked because a social media post he had replied to or something like that said in a scenario like that, like we just talked about just shooting him. But I don't really think he had any other opportunity. I mean, the guy's coming at him with an AK-47?
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what the report does.
That's pretty intimidating looking. Yeah. And this guy's out here with his shorts and his flip-flops and a T-shirt. He wasn't out to go murder people. He wasn't out at a protest looking to take out BLM people.
Right.
He was doing an Uber or whatever the hell he was doing.
Yeah, whatever he was doing.
I don't know. It makes us like we talked about who did I listen to? I don't know. Maybe it was Tim Casper. Where they were talking about like it's just not safe in the cities anymore.
No, it's not.
Like if you're smart, get out.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and
Or
that's
stay and make it better.
That situation, I'm in a
hopefully,
vehicle,
hopefully you stay and make it better.
And I see a group of people, and I see AK-47.
Yeah.
My first response is try to get the hell out of there. But I'm grabbing my side piece, and I'm gonna be ready for whatever I got to do. If that trigger's got to be pulled, if I feel like it's necessary, if my life's on the line, if you got family, you got your family's life on the line.
Well, I see.
Absolutely,
Here's
I'm not
where
gonna hesitate.
Here's where they'll probably call me crazy, because I'm like a less government kind of person, but there should be some type of like an emergency procedures or something like that, where they pretty much, get the community back in line. No, I'm not talking like military action, but like as far as elected officials, maybe hold separate elections with supervision, but maybe limit it to property owners.
Okay.
Maybe increase the property owners' rights as far as defending their property, not just their lives, but their property.
Right.
So, I mean, if you're looting and you get shot, I mean, chances are less looters will be looting.
Right.
Yeah.
If you can start picking people off, throwing bricks through your freaking window, they'll stop doing it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, if you survive the city, but I think that's what they need to do. And so, I mean, I hate to say it, but giving everybody a vote doesn't always make it a good thing. What do these people have to lose? They elect the leadership that runs these cities, where that's what you find in Texas, you think it's conservative, but it's just barely purple Texas. But you have cities in Texas that are super blue, like Austin.
Right.
Probably you probably can't own a gun in there or something. I don't know, but it probably can't supersede Texas law. But it's kind of like Florida. I don't know. I just don't know. I would definitely have to judge a situation on the spot and take care of my family. Even if my family's not with me, my number one concern is getting back to my family.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if it's murder, it's murder. But I'm gonna defend myself and try and do my best to do my part.
Comes down to it. It's you or me. Sorry, it's my plans for it to be you.
Yeah. So hopefully everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully everybody learns. Everybody learns how to use a firearm and exercises their Second Amendment. Well, what do you think about here in Florida now? You don't need a permit to concealed carry.
Yeah. So what's up with that? Explain to me what that means.
They're calling it constitutional carry, which it's not.
Okay,
All it is now is you don't need a permit to conceal carry your firearm with one in the chamber ready to go. You don't need safety training. You don't need fingerprinting.
You still can't open carry.
Right. Nothing's changed there. You just don't need a permit to
have one
to still be
on me.
Restricted to concealed carry.
So I could carry one with me at all times,
as long as it doesn't show.
as long as it's not.
As long as you don't show anybody.
If you're on your property, you can open carry.
If I'm say I'm out here, I can
open carry on it, but keep in mind when you go to check your mail,
that's too
that
far.
last 10 feet by the road,
That's too far.
you're supposed to conceal carry legally.
Well, then no.
You keep a fishing
Close it.
pole out there because you're allowed to open carry to and from fishing or hunting.
Right.
Yeah, but it depends on who's fighting you. Like
Yeah.
who.
But then
You can walk from fishing to home with a AK rifle, just like the guy we were just talking about.
No, I agree with you. But then there again, there your red law flags or red laws come in.
red flag laws.
What is it?
Red flag laws.
Red flag laws come in too. Then I
Your
can be
neighbor
like,
could say,
then I
"That
can be
dude's
like,
crazy
oh,
over
Mike's
there."
crazy. He walks to his fucking mailbox every day, grabs that fucking fishing pole.
See his nine on his hip.
Or no, he walks every day. He grabs that fucking fishing pole, and then goes, checks his fucking mail, comes back, put the fishing pole back with the fucking gun on the side. That guy's fucking crazy. I'm gonna call fucking cops on your ass.
A lot of days when I check my mail, I'm getting home from work. I get out of the truck.
You've had a little incident before,
I walk out to check my mail.
Yeah.
I actually usually put the gun under my armpit.
Yeah.
and I'll walk out, get the mail, and then walk in the house. Technically, out by the road. That's, I mean, it is concealed.
Yeah,
Not
it's
out in the
concealed,
open.
It's not in the open.
I've got booby traps. Well, where I'm at, I can do shit like that.
Fuck, man, I ain't going to your place
That's what
again.
I'm saying. That's
Fuck,
why
You don't
man.
jump the fence out
Listen,
there.
that's why I was just like.
Next thing I know, freaking rope goes around my foot. And
No,
I'm
I'm just
hanging
kidding.
from a tree.
I'm just kidding.
Good thing I carry a pocket knife.
I'm glad I thought
Next time
about
I
that. That's
go
not
out there,
bad.
That's
not
not
a bad
bad. Just say, oh yeah, nah, don't worry about it.
Just picture
like
the
whenever
kid
people,
from Goonies.
like when people talk to you, be like, oh yeah, be like, oh, how do you like it? Oh man, I love it, man. You know, to have no fence. Just what do you mean you have, man? I have booby traps out there, man.
Landmines.
People look at you like you're crazy though. They'll be looking at you like you're crazy, but that's a good thing. That's a good technique to fuck with people's mind. You know, they'd be like, I'm not gonna go fuck with that guy because I don't know if he's being for real, or if I go somewhere, there is gonna be a fucking booby trap.
Some of the best,
be up in the fucking
some of the
tree,
best
you know?
fighters lead it. So it's kind of like a mind game.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Some
saying.
of the
It's a
best
fucking-
fighters, you want your opponent to think you're crazy.
Yeah,
You want them to fear you a little bit.
absolutely.
So you know,
fuck with their mind.
Let's see.
I mean, booby traps. That's what I said. Booby traps.
Booby trap. Yes, it is. Fucking booby trap. You know, it's funny.
The Goonies. Yeah, so I don't know. It's pretty freaked up. You fucked up out
But
there.
anyway,
you know?
so
have to deal with that kind of shit and
I know.
get by with life.
So
and
so
stuff
listen.
like
So
that.
so
Come
what
on,
is this
man.
deal that they're doing with this?
Just let me go home to my
with
family.
this lady with the Bud Light? Are they putting the?
That's not a lady, dude. What are you smoking over there? That's a
Or the-
dude.
or whatever it is.
It's Dylan
So-
Mulvaney.
So anyways,
yeah, we
are-
got to talk about this again.
Anyways, my bad. Are they putting this picture on the
I
on the
think
actual
so. I think
on the
so.
actual bottle?
all the
think
ones
so,
I've
they
seen
can.
though are ones that people
Are
have
they?
made up that are pretty good.
They're
but,
definitely partnering with them, but
Did you
so is I think Nike.
yeah.
Nike partnered with Dylan Mulvaney.
Did you see Kid Rock's response to
Yeah.
Bud Light's new
Yeah.
sponsorship?
I wonder if
He took a bunch of their stuff and
I wonder.
just
So
blew it away
so
with
watch.
guns.
So watch. I wonder if in
So
the Super
here
Bowl.
we go again.
I wonder if in the
No.
Super Bowl are they going to be able to have a commercial now?
Oh, they'll probably be front and center.
So speaking of today,
You think
breaking
so?
news.
Probably.
Listen though, today in Louisville, Kentucky, a 23-year-old went to an old former place of employment and shot. I think it was. I forget. I think it killed like 5,
Yeah.
injured 5 more.
At a post
O'Connor.
office.
Well, I don't even want to say their name, but they identified as a he/him on their whatever their LinkedIn or something like that, and it was one of these woke guys. But I guess they had affiliation with the bank in the past. So then again, I mean, this is Kentucky. This is like Bible Belt gun toting zone, right? I'm not sure about Kentucky gun laws, but
I think about Kentucky.
I think everybody's
you
got
think
a gun.
people in favor of having a gun? Yeah,
I think about Kentucky and I think about the Kentucky Derby.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
country
know why.
folk, you know.
Yeah. Kentucky. Where's Kentucky happens?
Somewhere in the middle of the map. Like I could point to it on a map, but like just.
Well,
off
yeah,
the top of
but
my
like,
head,
what is there in Kentucky?
Cow patties
Yeah.
and shit like
Open-
that.
Is it?
open
Is it
I
by
think I
Nebraska?
drove
Is
through
it up there by Nebraska?
No, it's near
Is it more
Kansas
on the
and
West Coast?
Yeah.
Kansas and Missouri-ish area.
Where's that at?
Pull it up on your Google Maps or on your Apple Maps. Yeah, suspect in Louisville mass shooting is former bank employee claimed to be suicidal, quote unquote, would shoot up the bank. Where is it? The gunman in the Louisville bank shooting is reported to be 25-year-old, an employee at the bank since 2018, according to Fox News. This is, I don't know, PM News. I don't know what this is. According to his LinkedIn, worked as an intern at Old National Bank from May 18 to August 2020, joining as a full-time employee in June of 2021. Police confirmed that at least 4 were killed, including 1 police officer at the bank in downtown Louisville, and the shooter was killed on the scene. It's unclear if that shooter was killed by officers or took his own life. They've got a video here of the police chief or something like that. They also said that 8 people had been injured, 2 of them are in crucial condition, including another police officer. Sturgeon reportedly texted a friend prior to the shooting, saying that he was feeling suicidal and would shoot up the bank. He apparently streamed the event on Instagram Live. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I didn't.
No, that was
That's crazy.
news to me.
What would you do if somebody popped up on your live? Like, do you click on that when people just go live? You get the notification so-and-so's going live.
I don't normally.
Do you ever
but
click on that?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. What would you do, man, if it's somebody like shooting people up?
I would probably end up thinking it was fake and like close it out.
But what would you? I don't know.
I don't know.
man.
Like you would just be like
Yeah, I
somebody's
know,
fucking
right?
yanking my chain, because you can do a live and do a video feed or something. I mean,
But there's been a
it's
couple.
doable.
There's been a couple of people that
but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that have done that.
That have done
You would-
live with the cops. And
you would probably
people
think,
getting
what
shot.
are the odds that I just really watched that for real? Like, you would. I don't know. I think you would end up just thinking, no, that had to have been somebody pulling a prank.
I would hope so, man, but I don't know.
But then later you would find out otherwise, But at first I would be like, I couldn't have. Like, what are
Yeah.
the chances of catching that live?
It sounds like I don't know. It doesn't say what was going on in this person's life, but they keep emphasizing that they identified as a he/him, and it looks like a he/him. I don't know why they have to. I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
this is fuck. Sorry. So yeah, another tragedy, another gun tragedy, and Post Millennial. That's where it was from. I like them guys actually. It's the first time I come across the website.
Post-Millennial?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. They've been on a few podcasts I watched. It's like a independent media source. They do like on the ground reporting though.
Right.
Pretty good. I've seen them on Timcast, a few of their people. But anyways, we've been talking all this time, but nobody's mentioned that they should, or recommended that they should give us a follow. Right?
Yeah.
Where, Leo?
Where are they at, Leo?
Where are
Well,
we at,
this
Leo?
is-
Where can they follow us? Where can they watch our video at?
They can actually watch our videos on YouTube. Subscribe.
Where else?
Subscribe on YouTube. Rumble
Rumble.
is
Yeah.
the newest one that we have on there.
Yeah. And where else can they see video?
They can also see videos on Facebook,
Spotify.
Spotify.
No, just Spotify, YouTube, and
Our
Rumble.
actual videos.
Yeah,
our
the
actual
podcast video, yeah.
yes.
But the audio is still out there on every.
on every
Yeah,
platform
yeah.
that you could think of and imagine.
We just
We're normally
included
out
some
there.
video. It's not great, but whatever.
Yeah, it's just for now. It's working for us. So hey, this is what we want, and we're okay with it at the moment. But we are gonna move forward eventually. Which I don't like that word.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But anyways,
Yeah, I just
give us a like, give us a follow, especially
Yeah.
a follow. Definitely a follow and a share. I always share our shit. You share my shit, I'll share your shit. You guys have any questions?
Just a lot of shit sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions or anything you guys want to share with us, if we like it, we'll share it, and if not,
Yeah.
then
Big Second Amendment news.
You'll
So
still
just
hear
keep your
about
ears
us.
to the ground,
But yeah, definitely give us a like, give us a share, because we are your host. To the point with Mike, Leo, and Vince.
You guys ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, okay. Peace out.